the way I introduce it is I am a designer ball python or designer python breeder. I produce these amazing pythons, but the word designer kind of describes a little bit of what we do, because we are creating these amazing colors and patterns literally out of the ether, like they don't exist yet, and we're constantly making brand new ones and exploring what all is possible with these animals, and it's amazing. So the ways to look at it from a layperson's perspective is that, of course, we have reptiles, right? And then we have snakes, and then pythons. And when people hear the word pythons, they're of course a type of snake. People think massive pythons that are invading the Everglades and they're going to eat our children. And that's what the word python means to people, probably because of Hollywood mostly. But the reality is that very few of the python species are the monsters, like the big giant ones. Most python species are very, very relatively small, like just like you'd find like king snakes and long snakes in your backyard. Most pythons are in that actual size range. And so I deal with only one species, which is the ball python, which is out of West Africa. And it maxes out. They almost never get to be 6 feet long. That's like really, really long for them. And they're great pets. And they're really, really cool from a pet perspective. But the best thing about them is that in the wild, they've found all these really cool different variations of them that look different. So things like albinism, most of us know what albino is. Piebaldism, these different colors and patterns that just naturally mutate in the wild. And somebody over there, be it a native or just somebody who lives in that area, will get a hold of one of these, and then it'll end up being reproduced for that specific trait. Where in the wild, it's all very random. You'd almost never find them. And so that in a nutshell is kind of how this whole thing started. We started finding these amazing animals in Africa, and they got brought over here, and then almost 100 different mutations have been discovered in this one species. So we're not interbreeding different species, we're just stacking these really cool different variations together, and it takes decades sometimes to stack them, and you end up with animals that are genetically still just a ball python, but look more and more and more and more crazy and different than you'd ever find in the wild.
Yeah, some of the things that you've posted, it blows my mind that it's real. The color variations and just how symmetrical it all is. I want to kind of